High above the Middle East, a civilian aircraft carrying Iranian officials flies through highly volatile airspace. After a month of brutal regional conflict, the Iranian delegation fears a mid-air assassination attempt. Suddenly, military jets close in on their wings. These aren't attackers, but a Pakistani military escort. They were dispatched to create an impenetrable security perimeter around the Iranian plane, guiding it safely through the threat zone. The delegation has safely touched down at the Norcon Air Base in Islamabad. They've arrived for urgent negotiations intended to force a ceasefire in Lebanon. Their primary antagonists are already here, the American representatives led by JD Vance. Despite coming to the same airbase to talk peace, Iran views this delegation as absolute enemies. This hostility led to Iran's uncompromising precondition. They absolutely refuse to be in the same room, sit at the same table, or even take a single photograph with the Americans. It creates a bizarre logistical puzzle. How do heavily armed superpowers negotiate a massive geopolitical ceasefire and the exchange of billions of dollars when they refuse to even look at each other? Inside the complex, the two delegations are held in isolated rooms, connected by a hallway. Pakistani leaders, specifically Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir, act as messengers. They pace back and forth between chambers, carrying demands from one room to the other. From their room, Iran is demanding that Israel publicly and officially declare a ceasefire in Lebanon. They are also demanding the immediate release of $7 billion in Iranian assets currently frozen by the United States. This capital is currently trapped in accounts held within South Korean and Qatari banks. Iran is weaponizing the very architecture of this meeting, extracting maximum financial and military concessions without granting the U.S. the diplomatic dignity of a handshake. Across the hallway, the U.S. and Israeli delegations are weighing these steep ultimatums against their own forms of leverage. Israel is reportedly offering a major concession. Benjamin Netanyahu is agreeing to hold back his forces and halt unauthorized strikes on Lebanon. But while Israel pauses, the incoming U.S. administration is deploying a bad cop strategy via Donald Trump's rhetoric. Trump has threatened that if Iran walks away or rejects the terms, the U.S. will utilize heavily armed warships stationed in nearby waters. These ships are loaded with lethal weapon systems that have gone unused during the last month of conflict, and they are now pointed directly at Iranian targets. It leaves the Islamabad talks in a state of extreme fragility. The diplomats are balancing $7 billion and regional peace against the immediate threat of ballistic escalation. On the ground, the impact of these talks is already visible. Israeli military units now require direct permission from Netanyahu before initiating any offensive operations in Lebanon. This shift is leading to a second diplomatic front. Historic talks are now being scheduled in Washington between Israeli and Lebanese government officials. Israel is pivoting toward the Lebanese government because military pressure alone has failed to remove Hezbollah from the border. Hezbollah is deeply integrated into the local population and maintains significant grassroots support, making a purely military solution nearly impossible. But while delegates trade terms in the sterile rooms of Islamabad, the coastline of the Levant is still burning. Words have yet to stop the physical destruction. Iran successfully forced the world's superpowers to bend to its logistical and financial terms. However, the refusal to even share a room proves the enmity remains fully intact. This isn't a final peace, it's a temporary pause in a generational war.